Wordwall is a fun and fast classroom activity maker that comes free with every interactive display from Steljes. Just enter a few words, and with a couple of clicks, you've created a resource that would have been impossible to produce with traditional presentation software. It's so simple. In the first screen, you choose your activity template. This decides the overall style of activity you will make. The options include quiz, match-up, seating plan, and many more. Once you've chosen a template, you need to enter your content. This means typing, pasting, or searching for the text and image content of your activity. This might be as simple as a list of keywords and a few images. Your activity is now one click away. You can adjust the game rules if you want to, and choose options to suit your students. You can also change the visual theme, giving it a completely new look with a single click. Once your students are ready, click play to enter full screen mode. This mode features state-of-the-art graphics and sound, and it's where you and your students can interact with the activity to control the outcome. Once the activity is over, you can return to the main screen to review what's happened. From here, you can export results, share with colleagues, or springboard into a completely new activity using the outcomes you've just collected. Wordwall with Respond Anywhere allows you to use student response games on any HTML5 compatible device. This includes Windows, Macs, Linux, iOS, and Android. It works across all desktops, tablets, and phones. Wordwall allows schools that have fixed PC rooms, class sets of iPads, or bring your own device policies to utilize their existing hardware and engage every student in the school. This yearly subscription-based license also allows schools to use Wordwall on other interactive whiteboards and screens. WordPad 7 is a great-performing Android tablet designed especially for the classroom. Featuring a 7-inch screen, a zippy A9 Cortex processor, and 1 GB of RAM, you can deploy and manage apps, as well as using the Google Play Store and Google Apps to create documents, take photos, and record video. Purchases of class sets of WordPad 7 tablets include a perpetual license of Wordwall, which can be used on any interactive screen or whiteboard. When purchasing a bundle of 32 WordPads, not only does this come with a perpetual site license, this also comes with the full management system for the devices. The management system helps to manage the devices and also restrict usability for students. First, you need to create the user account you require to register the devices. You need to go to www.wordpad.getwordwall.com and click Register New Account. Here, you will be asked to enter your details, your school, email address, and password, and just a few more details. To connect and register your devices, firstly switch them on. Then you will be able to see a Register Now button in the top left corner of your device. You also need to ensure your device is on the same network as your laptop or panel that you're using to register. Once you have selected Register Now, you'll be prompted to enter the same email address and password you've used on your laptop or panel to register. You can now select if you would like the device to be placed in student or administration mode. Now, log into the management system on your screen or panel. Here, you will now see the device showing you the ID, MAC address, last update, apps, app space, user space, battery, and mode. You can see the ID number will match the number on the top left-hand side of the device. Also under Mode, you can adjust to Student or Teacher. Using the teacher device, you can download any apps that are available in the Google Play Store. Once downloaded, you can deploy this app to all the devices if you wish. Log into the management system and select Apps on the top right-hand side. The table shown lists all apps found on the registered teacher device. To deploy one of these apps to the students, first switch the deployment mode to Install for all students. Then click on WordPad Sync on the student devices. You cannot deploy until the app has been uploaded. Therefore, if the column is not ticked, run WordPad Sync on a teacher device that has the app already installed, and it will upload. The integration with devices and Wordwall allows much more than just ABCD quizzes. For example, you can turn your whiteboard into a Postit board where every student can contribute ideas and then evaluate those ideas using opinion scales. It gives every student a voice in the classroom. Or students can navigate round the board using joypad controls to answer questions and gain points. Like a 30-player video game for the classroom. It's fantastic fun. You can even create auto-marked quizzes and activities that provide you with instant reporting and feedback to assist you and show student progress. This is the most popular Wordwall activity, and it's really simple to make. Let's select the seating plan template. You can draw a map of the classroom just by touching the screen to create pupil desks. Then, on the right-hand side, type in a list of student names. Or you can copy and paste an Excel list from your data management system. Now, click Next. You can start with the Arrange game, selected from Game Rules. Remember, you can change the graphical theme, but let's stick with Classic. Now, click Play. Just click the box that now appears. The Arrange game allows you to pick students up and rearrange them in the classroom. Or you could use the Shuffle tool. The Shuffle tool can be found by clicking on the bottom left icon. Once you've clicked on Shuffle, the pupils have now been rearranged in the classroom. Or alternatively, let's click back onto the icon and you could arrange them into groups of 2, 3 or 4 when the Group tool has been selected. Another very useful way to use Seating Plan is when you have a quiz starting in the classroom. Let's use Lives or Points Tally. Click on the bottom left icon again and select Lives Tally. You can now see that every pupil starts with 3 lives. You could randomly select a student if you wish, or why not let Wordwall select one for you? By clicking on the bottom left icon, you can select Random Spinner. Once the student has been selected and you've asked them your question, you can then add points on or take points off by swiping left or right. You can also use the Random Roam tool to achieve the same effect. Simple and effective. One of the best features of the Wordwall software is how easy it is to share activities with other teachers. When you've made a resource in the software, go to the File menu, and you can save it to your local computer or network. But if you click Share, you can offer it up to other Wordwall users. Currently, there are 55,000 resources available online, and it's being added to all the time as teachers add new ones. You can find activities using the Wordwall community. The Community button is on the top right of the screen. All you need to do is enter a title and start searching for an activity. Here's an activity already created for phonics. Select one of the games that appears. Here, you will be able to see more detail about the game by clicking on Edit Details. This will show you a description, subject, and age band. Just press Submit to remove the box. If you are happy to download the game, simply select Download. Now you're ready to start the game. Let's search for a game using the Community feature at the top right of the screen. A brilliant game to search for is Alive or Not Alive, which uses the template True or False. Once downloaded, you can click on Enter your content, so you can see the actual content used to create this game. At this point, you can amend or add more content if you wish. The true side is on the left, and the false side is on the right. Just click Next to move the page on. At this point, you need to select Whack-A-Mole under Game Rules. If you look in the preview page, you can see how the game will look. Why not select the other options to see how the other game rules might look? You can also change the graphical theme on this page, and you can see these changes in the preview window. Select Whack-A-Mole. A teacher had already created the content and placed a 30-second timer on the game. You can see this when you click on Timer. You can of course reduce or increase the time if you wish. When you're happy with the game you've selected, click on Play. At this point, let's get a pupil to come up to the board to play the game. A small description of how to play the game will now appear. Just click on the box to start. The student has 30 seconds to select all 8 right answers. After the game has finished, a box will appear informing you and the pupil how many are correct and the time it took. You can then simply restart the game or exit. Sentence Maker is a really useful literacy starter. Turning words into individual tiles, they work like fridge magnets. This game can replace the Post-it notes you may use when jumbling up a sentence. You can type in a sentence so you can see how this template works. Or you can copy and paste a sentence you had in mind. To add another line, just simply press Add a new item. When you're happy with the content you've entered, click on Next. On the next page, you will see 3 different games under Game Rules. Select Arrange and change the theme to the Blackboard theme. Let's click Play. Here you will see a small description of the activity. Just press the box to start. In this example, you could jumble up the sentence by moving the words, and then ask a student to come up to the board and put it back together. Or you can change the game. Just click on the icon at the bottom left of the screen and select Change Game. Let's select Unscramble. With this game, you now have space above the sentence to place the words back in order. Or you could play the colour game and ask students to highlight words or groups of words. If you've previously played a game such as Sentence Maker, you can easily convert your content into another game called Missing Word without having to re-enter the content. Let's select Missing Word. The box that has appeared is just checking that you have more than one sentence. Click OK. This will use content from another game, which has successfully converted. As this game is called Missing Word, you need to highlight which words to show as missing. It's very easy. You just need to place a square bracket on either side of the word. You can see in the preview page the words you have highlighted are now in blue. Let's click Next. You now have 4 options under the game rules. Let's select Mobile Sort and click Next. Now you can see a page called Mobile Setup. You can select Anonymous or Text Entry. If you select Text Entry, we need to wait until all the students have joined in. Their names will now appear on the board. Let's click Play. You can now see a box that has a description of the game. Just click on the box to continue. The purpose of this exercise is to identify all the missing words and place them correctly within the sentence. You can now see on the board several icons on the left. This shows how many pupils are joining in with the activity. If you press and hold down on a few, you can see which pupil they refer to. Once a pupil has submitted their answers, their icon will move to the right. When all the icons have moved over, you can see the activity has been completed. Once the activity has been completed, click on the bottom left icon and select Reveal Answers. You can then see how many of the words are correctly positioned. You can also click on Leaderboard. This will show you how the students scored in the activity. You will also be able to see the results in a results log. Sketch Brainstorm is a great visual activity. Let's select the template. Select Mobile Sketch so you can see the students' own individual input in the game. Click Text Entry. When the students have joined the game, a corkboard will now appear on each student's device. At the bottom of the screen, they can select different line thicknesses and a range of pen colours, or they can select the square icon, which is their eraser. You can then ask the students to draw the shape. When each student has drawn their picture, they simply press Submit. They can even submit multiple pictures if time allows. If you have any duplicate shapes, just hold down on them to remove. This is a great way of getting the class to brainstorm ideas. And you can even convert all the images submitted to use in another game. If you've played Sketch Brainstorm, you can easily convert the pictures the students have drawn and submitted to work in another game, like Simple Tiles. Once you've selected Simple Tiles, let's select Mobile Joypad and click Next. Then select Text Entry. Once everyone is signed in, click Play. You will now see all the pictures the students have drawn on their devices. You could then, for example, ask the class to identify which of the shapes has internal angles adding up to 180 degrees. The class can do this by navigating around all the shapes submitted, using their individual devices. They just tap the picture to navigate around the screen. You can see on the board the pupils are navigating to the shape they think is the correct answer by observing how their icons are moving around. Once each student has chosen what they think is the right tile, you can clearly see their individual knowledge and progress. Getting the class to create the activity for you is a great way to engage them in the lesson and saves teacher time by not having to write a quiz before the lesson. Multiple choice quizzes are a popular assessment tool, and this one's a real gem. Earlier this year, the government published a 10-question extract from their citizenship test, and a teacher has helpfully uploaded it to the online community. Let's find the quiz by searching in the community. The community button is on the top right of the screen. Once selected, let's search for the citizenship quiz. Just click on the game and select Download. click on Enter your content. Here, you can see how the quiz has been created. You have various options for how we can run these quizzes. You can go through it question by question, or you can do it self-paced. Let's try a simple poll first, though. Let's select Mobile Poll and click Next. Then select Text Entry. Once everyone is signed in, click Play. Now you can see the quiz has appeared on the panel, as well as each student's device. The number at the bottom of the panel on the left-hand side indicates what question you're on and how many questions there are in total. Let's start to ask the students the questions. The students will now answer the questions using their device by tapping on the tile they believe is the correct answer. As players vote, their icons will move from left to right across the screen to show they've answered the question. Now, you can flip the tiles to reveal the answers. If you wish, you can reveal who got them right by selecting the icon on the bottom left, Show Individual Choices. You can also highlight those who got the question right by hovering over the player icon to reveal their name. When the quiz has finished, you can quickly look at the leaderboard, click on the bottom left icon and select Leaderboard. Here, you can see how the students ranked against each other. Let's select Exit and start to look at the results log. When the class has completed a quiz, each student can review personalised feedback so they can reflect on their own performance. Reporting for the whole class will also now appear on the board. Here you can view the answers by group by question, group by player, and event log. You can also export this data to Excel to track student progress. So you can demonstrate how each student has moved on in the course of a lesson, what they've understood, and what they haven't. Once exported to Excel, you can see several view option tabs at the bottom. Summary by question, group by question, summary by player, group by player, event log, and of course, you can easily save this document in the normal manner. The Maths Tiles game is one of the templates that already has content built in to use, as it auto-generates maths questions. You can create a series of these to explore. Just click on the arrow next to Question Type. Here you can see the selection of question types. For example, you could select 5 questions from the subjects Easy Addition, Hard Addition, and Decimal Addition. Once you have selected one type of question, you can then use the up and down arrows to increase or decrease the number of questions you would like to ask. Then click Generate Questions. The questions will now appear below. If you have your own questions, you can of course just type them in with the same format as seen on the screen. When you are happy with your content, click on Next. If you would like individual results, you can select Mobile Joypad and the Mad Scientist theme. Click on the Options tab and set a timer for 2 minutes. Now, click Next. Then select Text Entry. Once everyone is signed in, click Play. You will see the box that gives you some instructions. When everyone is ready, press the box. You've got 2 minutes to get as many questions right as you can. You get a point for each question you get right. The student simply needs to navigate around the screen on their device. Click on a tile, enter the question, and press Submit. When the 2 minutes is over, you can click on the leaderboard. Then select Exit by clicking on the icon on the bottom left. You can now view the results log. If this was done as a mental maths activity each week, you'd be able to show how the class has progressed over the course of a term. Random Wheel is the most popular template in the programme. It's just used on the board, and it's very engaging and useful to use during teaching. You remember that game show Wheel of Fortune? Well, now you can use it with your class. Let's select the template and enter some content. For example, the countries of the world. Once you've typed in your content, you can add images to go with it. Just press Images and it will automatically search for a picture you can use. When you've found the correct picture, drag it into the box. When you are happy with your content, click Next. Let's select Just Spin and TV Game Show. You can then see how the activity will look in the preview box. Now click Play. You can now see a box that has a description of the game. Just click on the box to continue. Simply spin the wheel to see where it stops. You could then ask the class for a fact about the country on which the wheel has landed. It's easy, and the students will love it. If you've played a game like Random Wheel, it's easy to convert your content into another template. For example, you might have selected Random Wheel and used countries of the world as your content. With labelled diagram, we can assess the students' knowledge of these countries. Say, for example, where they are on a world map. After converting the Random Wheel into labelled diagram, a box will appear reminding you that you will need to use a background image. You can find one in the next stage. Click OK. You need to select Image Search to search for a background image. For example, Outline World Map. Just drag and drop the picture into the box. You can make the activity markable by clicking the markable box. You will see that numbers appear. Each number represents a country on the right-hand side. Place the numbers where the countries are in the world. Once you've finished, select Next. You can see how the activity will look in the preview page. Let's select Mobile Pin under Game Rules. Select Next. Now select Text Entry. And once everyone is signed in and ready, select Play. Now the students can use their own devices to select where they think the countries are in the world. Ask them if they can correctly place these countries. They simply need to drag a line from the labels above and below the map to place them into position. On the screen, you can see numbers appear beside the countries. This shows you how many students have started to select that country. The student's icon will move from left to right of the screen to show they've completed their answers. Click on the icon on the bottom left and select Reveal Answers. To see how they did, click Exit and view the results log. The spider diagram template is a new addition to the software. Used as a mobile game, it requires no preparation on the teacher's part. The class creates the activity for you. To start creating your spider diagram, you can create a statement such as things you would like to do this summer. Under Central Title, enter your statement. and set realistic and unrealistic as the nodes. You can see in the preview box how this will look. Now, click Next. If you would like to view individual answers, then you could select Mobile Text and maybe the space theme. Then just click Next. Select Text Entry. Then, when everyone is ready, click on Play. You can now see a box that has a description of the game. Just click on the box to continue. Now, the students can type their ideas on their devices and click Submit. Their idea will then appear on the screen. You could discuss the ideas as they come in, or when everyone has submitted all their ideas. When the students have finished, you can drag the ideas from the bank onto one of the nodes, depending on if it's realistic or unrealistic. If you've played Spider Diagram, you can convert the game to a different template, such as Rating Scale. When you do this, you need to ensure you keep your changes to save the content. Click on the bottom left icon and select Exit, then Keep Changes. Now, you're ready to convert. Rating Scales allows you to assess student contributions in a different way. This time, you can consider whether the class agree that student statements are realistic or unrealistic. Select Rating Scale. A box called Conversion Issue will now appear. Here, you need to click on the arrow and select only the items your students have entered. It's basically removing the central title and nodes. You can now see the content is sitting under Add a list of items. If you would like to see if the students agree with the statements, you can select Agreement and 4 items. This will give the options Strongly Disagree, Disagree, Agree, and Strongly Agree. Now, select Next. Under the game rules, let's select Mobile Opinion and the Classic theme. Now, click Next. Then Text Entry. Once everyone is ready, click Play. A small description of how to play the game will now appear. Just click on the box to start. The student needs to position the tiles each on a separate row under one of the choices, then press the Submit key. When they're all done, you can hold down on a tile to reveal who went for each answer, or you can click on the icon at the bottom left and click on Reveal Answers. You could also put the students in pairs to discuss the topics. It's a great way to stimulate discussion and debate. When you then rerun the vote, you can see how the students' opinions have changed. But this is the point of Wordwall. Everyone has a voice, and everyone can suggest an idea. Students can then evaluate their thoughts and views in light of the knowledge and ideas of other students in the class.